My wife said, "You're not man enough to handle my independence." I replied, "You're right." Then I filed for divorce and moved her mom into our guest room. Her lawyer called me laughing when he saw the paperwork. I'm a 38-year-old man, married to Victoria, 35, for 9 years. We met through work, both accountants at different firms. She was brilliant, ambitious, and driven. I fell for her hard. After 2 years of dating, we got married, bought a house together with an 80-20 split since I had been saving longer, and built what I believed was a good life. Victoria always emphasized independence, financial and emotional. I was fine with that. I'm not controlling. She kept her own accounts. I kept mine, and we shared one account for household expenses. She made about $85,000. I made $110,000, and we split bills proportionally. It felt fair. 6 months ago, Victoria got promoted to senior manager, raising her salary to $105,000. I was genuinely happy for her. I took her out to celebrate and told everyone how proud I was. That's when things began to change. It started with small comments. "I don't need you to pay for dinner anymore. I can handle my own car maintenance. Stop trying to control me with money." I wasn't trying to control anything. I was just being a husband, offering to grab dinner or reminding her about an oil change. Then came her new friend group, divorced women from her yoga class who called themselves the Phoenix Sisters, women who had risen from the ashes of marriage. They went out every Tuesday and Thursday, sometimes Saturdays, to wine bars, talking about toxic masculinity and financial liberation. 3 months ago, at her company party, I was chatting with one of her colleagues about baseball when I overheard Victoria speaking to a group of women. Marriage is just legalized oppression. Men can't handle successful women. They need to feel superior. Someone asked about her husband. Me. "Oh, he tries, but you can tell it bothers him that I'm catching up financially. He keeps trying to provide for me like it's 1952. I was standing about 20 feet away. She knew I could hear. Later, in the car. Me. That was pretty harsh. Victoria, the truth hurts. Me. What truth? I celebrated your promotion. I support your career. Victoria, you support it as long as I'm beneath you. Me. That's not true, and you know it. Victoria, you're not man enough to handle my independence. Just admit it. I didn't respond. I drove home in silence. Last month was our anniversary. I had made reservations at a restaurant she'd been wanting to try. When I told her, she laughed. Still trying to control everything. I already made plans with the Phoenix Sisters. We're doing an empowerment retreat that weekend. Me, it's our anniversary. Victoria, so, it's just a date. My personal growth is more important than some arbitrary celebration of an outdated institution. That's when I knew it was over. Last week, things escalated. She started transferring money from our joint account to her personal one. Not huge amounts, but enough to notice. Me, what's going on? Victoria, I'm protecting my assets. Me, from what? Victoria, from you. Men always try to control women through money. I'm not falling for it. Me, Victoria, I have never stopped you from spending money. Victoria, you don't get it. You're not man enough to handle my independence. Real men don't feel threatened by successful women. I looked at her for a long moment. This woman I had loved for 11 years, supported through her master's degree, and celebrated at every milestone, was telling me I wasn't man enough for existing, for wanting to stay married. Me, you're right. Victoria, what? Me, you're right. I'm not man enough to handle your independence. I'll move to the guest room tonight. She looked shocked but quickly composed herself. Finally, some honesty. What she didn't know was that I had already spoken to a divorce lawyer that afternoon, and I had a plan. Victoria had forgotten one crucial detail about her house. It's not in both our names, it's in mine. Only mine. When we bought it, she had just started her job, and her credit was poor, due to student loans. The mortgage and deed are solely in my name. The mortgage and deed are solely in my name. We had always planned to add her later during refinancing, but never did. Her mother, Dorothy, 68 years old, lives on Social Security in a rough apartment complex. Victoria often talked about helping her, but never followed through, too busy with the Phoenix Sisters. That night, after Victoria went to bed in our bedroom, while I took the guest room like the weak man, I called Dorothy. Hey Dorothy, it's Alex. How would you like to move in with us? What? Is everything okay? Victoria and I are getting divorced? But the house is mine, and I have a spare room. You've always been kind to me, rent-free, of course. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry, but are you sure? I've already cleared it with my lawyer. You can move in whenever you want. Victoria is going to lose her mind. That's her choice. The next morning, I filed for divorce. That weekend, while Victoria was away at her empowerment retreat, I helped Dorothy move in. Monday morning, Victoria came home to find her mother unpacking in the guest room. The explosion was spectacular. Update 1. 1 week later. The past 7 days have been absolutely insane. You wanted drama? Victoria delivered. After she found her mom in the guest room, she completely lost it. Her, what is my mother doing here? Me, I invited her to move in. She needs a better living situation. Her, you can't just move people into our house. Me, check the deed. It's my house. And you said I wasn't man enough to handle your independence, so I'm giving you all the independence you want. Her, this is about control. You are trying to manipulate me. Dorothy, Victoria, honey. He's giving me free rent. That's not manipulation. That's kindness. Her, stay out of this. Dorothy, don't talk to me that way. I'm still your mother. Victoria stormed upstairs, and that's when she found the divorce papers I'd left on the bed. The scream could have shattered windows. She came storming back down, papers in hand. Her, you're divorcing me because I'm successful? Me, I'm divorcing you because you treat me like garbage and openly disrespect our marriage. Her, this is about money. You can't handle that I make almost as much as you. Me, you make $105,000. I make $110,000, and I have about $400,000 in investments from before we met. This was never about money. Her face went pale. Victoria never knew about my investments. I started investing in my early 20s, lived cheaply, built a solid portfolio, and never mentioned it because she was so particular about money and independence. I figured it was my business. Her, so you hid money from me? Me, I didn't hide anything. You never asked. You were too busy being independent. Her, I want half. Me, good luck with that. Premarital assets, already confirmed with my lawyer. Then she tried a different approach and started crying. Her, Alex, please, we can work this out. I didn't mean those things. Me, you meant every word. And that's okay. You wanted independence. You've got it. Her, where am I supposed to live? Me, wherever independent women live. That's not my concern anymore. Her, you're kicking me out? Me, I'm giving you 30 days, as required by law. Your lawyer can handle the details. That's when she called the Phoenix sisters. Within an hour, 5 divorced women showed up at my house, trying to storm in like some kind of empowerment SWAT team. Phoenix leader, let's call her Brenda. You can't evict a woman from her own home. Me, it's not her home. She's not on the deed. Her, that's financial abuse. Me, she has her own money. She's independent, remember? Another Phoenix sister. This is why we tell women to protect themselves. Dorothy, maybe if you hadn't filled my daughter's head with toxic nonsense, her marriage wouldn't be ending. Her, and you're supporting this patriarch? Dorothy. This patriarch is giving me free housing while my daughter ignored me for years. So yes, they left after I threatened to call the police for trespassing. Victoria hired a lawyer the next day, a high-profile feminist attorney specializing in women's advocacy. The attorney called me Wednesday. Attorney Mr. Thompson, your behavior constitutes financial and emotional abuse. Me, how? Attorney, you're weaponizing housing to control my client. Me, I'm giving her 30 days to find a place. That's generous. Attorney, the house is marital property. Me, the house is in my name only, purchased with my down payment, and all payments made from my account. Attorney, she contributed to household expenses. Me, she paid for groceries and utilities. I paid the mortgage, taxes, and insurance. I have all the receipts. Attorney, we'll see you in court. Me, looking forward to it. Then my lawyer called me, laughing. My lawyer, I just got off the phone with her attorney. She wants alimony. Me, what? My lawyer, she's claiming she's accustomed to a certain lifestyle. She also wants half the house value and half your investments. Me, she makes $105,000. My lawyer, I know. I know. I literally laughed. Her attorney wasn't amused. Me, can she get any of that? My lawyer, the house? No. It's premarital, and you never added her. You can prove all payments came from you. The investments are also premarital. Alimony? She makes too much, and the marriage isn't long enough. She might get some furniture, and maybe a small settlement to resolve things. Me? What about Dorothy living here? My lawyer, completely legal. It's your house. You can have whoever you want as a tenant. Meanwhile, Victoria launched a social media campaign, posting about how her narcissistic husband was holding her hostage and using her elderly mother against her. The comments were hilarious. Even her own friends were confused. Wait, he's giving your mom free housing. Why is that bad? Don't you make good money? I thought you wanted independence. She deleted the posts within an hour, but the best part happened Friday. Victoria showed up with a U-Haul and the Phoenix sisters. Her, I'm taking my stuff. Me, take whatever you bought. I have receipts for everything else. Her, I bought that couch. Me, the receipt shows I bought it. Wanna see? She tried to take the TV. Me, mine, receipts are in my filing cabinet. The bed, me, mine. Bought it before we met. In the end, she left with her clothes, some kitchen items she had purchased, her personal belongings, and a chair. That was it. The Phoenix sisters kept pushing. Just take it all, make him prove it in court. Me, I'm recording this entire interaction. Go ahead and try to steal my property on camera. They backed down. As Victoria was leaving, Dorothy came out. Dorothy, Victoria, honey, you can stay here if you apologize to Alex and agree to counseling. Victoria, I don't need to apologize to anyone. He's abusing both of us. Dorothy, he's giving me free rent and treating me with more respect than you have in years. Victoria, you're choosing him over me. Dorothy, I'm choosing kindness over whatever you've become. Victoria left sobbing. The Phoenix sisters glared at me like I was Satan himself. Saturday morning, I got a text from Victoria's dad, Robert. They've been divorced for 15 years. Robert, heard you're divorcing Vic and taking care of Dorothy. Good for you. That woman needs help, and Vic's too selfish to provide it. Let me know if you need anything. Even her dad is on my side. This morning, Victoria tried a new approach. She showed up alone, dressed nicely, makeup done. Her, can we talk? I may have overreacted. The Phoenix sisters have been influencing me. Maybe we can work this out. I'll go to counseling. No, I'll stop seeing them. Me, I don't care who you see. Her, I love you. Me, no, you don't. You love the lifestyle I provided while you played the independent woman. Her, that's not fair. Me, you told a room full of people I wasn't man enough for you. That's what's not fair. Her, I'll tell everyone I was wrong. Me, too late. She left crying again. Dorothy watched from the window. Dorothy, you know I love my daughter, but she needed this wake-up call. Me, think she'll learn. Dorothy, probably not, but maybe. Tomorrow is the first divorce mediation. This should be interesting. Update 2. 2 weeks later, mediation was a disaster. In the best possible way, we met at James's office. Victor. It brought her attorney, Rebecca, the feminist advocate, and I'm not kidding, 2 Phoenix sisters for emotional support. They had to wait outside, but made sure to glare at me through the glass door. Rebecca started strong. My client is entitled to half of all marital assets, including the house. James, the house is premarital property, solely in Mr. Haley Thompson's name, and not improved with marital funds. Here are 5 years of bank statements showing all mortgage payments, insurance, taxes, and improvements came from Mr. Taxes, Thompson's personal account. Rebecca, my client, contributed to household expenses. James, she paid for groceries and utilities, totaling approximately $1,500 monthly. Mr. Thompson paid $3,200 monthly for mortgage and house-related expenses. If anything, she owes him rent. Victoria, rent, I'm his wife. James, technically, you're his soon-to-be ex-wife, who lived in his property rent-free for 5 years. Rebecca tried another angle. We're seeking alimony. James actually snorted. Rebecca, My client makes $105,000 annually. She's accustomed to a certain lifestyle. She's accustomed to a certain lifestyle. James, what lifestyle? According to these credit card statements, she spends most of her money on wine bars, yoga classes, and empowerment retreats. Mr. Thompson paid for all vacations, major purchases, and home expenses. Victoria, this is financial abuse. Me, you literally told me I wasn't man enough to handle your independence. Now you want my money? Rebecca, my client was emotional when she said that. Me, she was sober at her company party when she told everyone I was threatened by successful women. James pulled out his laptop. Actually, I have something interesting. Mr. Thompson's neighbor provided Ring doorbell footage from 3 months ago. He played a video of Victoria in our driveway, talking on the phone. Girl, I'm going to divorce him as as I hit senior director. Just another year or two. I'll get half his stuff and finally be free. These Phoenix sisters know what they're talking about. Men are just walking ATMs. Victoria's face went white. Rebecca, that's taken out of context. Me, what context makes that better? Victoria, I was just venting. Me, so was I when I filed for divorce. Then came asset division. Victoria's demands were outrageous. Half the house value, $300,000 half my investments, $200,000 the car, which is also in my name, alimony, $200,000 a month, her attorney fees, $15,000 so far James's counteroffer, her personal belongings already taken, her car, already hers, $10,000 settlement, no alimony, each party pays their own attorney. Rebecca, that's insulting. James, generous. We could argue she owes Mr. Thompson back rent. Victoria, I want my mother out of that house. Me, she's my tenant now. Perfectly legal. Victoria, she's my mother. You ignored her for years while she lived in a dangerous neighborhood. At that moment, Dorothy texted Victoria, stop embarrassing yourself. Alex took me to lunch at that Italian place you never had time to take me to. Victoria screamed and threw her phone across the table. Rebecca, we need a recess. During the break, I overheard Rebecca speaking to Victoria in the hallway. Rebecca, you have no case. Take the settlement. Victoria, the Phoenix sisters said I could take him for everything. Rebecca, the Phoenix sisters aren't lawyers. And, frankly, they're idiots. When we reconvened, Victoria tried tears again. Alex, please. I made mistakes, but don't you remember the good times? Me, I remember you telling me I wasn't a real man. I didn't mean it. Me, which time? The 1st? The 5th? The 5th? The 20th? You're being cruel. Me, I'm being independent. Isn't that what you wanted? Finally, Rebecca made a new offer. $25,000. Settlement, clean divorce. Finalized in 60 days. James looked at me. I shook my head. Me, the original offer stands. $10,000. That's it. Victoria, I'll go to trial. Me, great. We'll subpoena your Phoenix sisters, play that Ring footage in court, and show the judge your social media posts about marriage being legalized oppression. How do you think that will go? Rebecca leaned in and whispered urgently to Victoria. After 5 minutes, Rebecca will take the $10,000. The papers were signed. Victoria had already been served with a 30-day eviction notice from the filing date, so she had 2 weeks left. But she wasn't done. That night, she showed up drunk with Brenda and 2 other Phoenix sisters. You ruined my life. Me, you ruined your own life. You're a typical man, threatened by female power. Me, you're drunk. Go home. You betrayed me, Mom. Dorothy, you betrayed yourself, your marriage, and me for years. Victoria, I was busy. I was building my career. Me, you were drinking wine with bitter divorced women who convinced you to destroy your marriage. Phoenix sister number 2, we liberated her. Me, you turned her into a bitter, selfish person who treats everyone like garbage. Victoria, I'm independent and single. Me, congratulations. She tried to charge at me, but tripped on the lawn and fell face first. The Phoenix sisters had to carry her to Brenda's car. The next day, I got a call from Victoria's boss. Alex, it's Paul. I heard about the divorce. I'm sorry. Thanks, Paul. Listen, this is awkward, but Victoria's been having issues at work, telling female colleagues they're slaves to the patriarchy if they're happily married. HR is involved. Me. That tracks. Between you and me, she might want to focus on finding a new job instead of fighting you in court. Thanks for the heads up. That afternoon, Dorothy and I were having coffee when she said something that stuck with me. Dorothy, I always hoped Victoria would find a good man like you, someone stable, kind, supportive. But somewhere along the way, she decided being loved was the same as being controlled. Me, when did she change? Dorothy, when she met those Phoenix women. They're all bitter about their own divorces and want everyone else to be miserable too. Misery loves company. Me. Why didn't she help you more financially? Dorothy. She said helping me would make me dependent and that I needed to be empowered. Meanwhile, she spent $500 a month on yoga and wine. Me. That's cold. Dorothy. That's Victoria now. But thank you for this. I haven't felt safe in years. Your family divorce doesn't change that. She teared up and hugged me. This morning, Victoria sent one final desperate text. If you let me come back, I'll sign a post-nup giving up any claim to everything. Please, I have nowhere to go. Me, Brenda has a spare room. Very empowering, I'm sure. Her, she wants $1,500 a month. Me, sounds like a personal problem. Her, you enjoying this. Me, I'm enjoying my independence. She didn't respond after that. Final update, 1 month later, the divorce was finalized last week. Victoria fought until the very end, but ultimately had no leverage. Here's how it all ended. She accepted the $10,000 settlement, but only after one more disastrous mediation. She brought all 6 Phoenix sisters and attempted what I can only describe as an empowerment intervention. They burst into the conference room with printed articles about financial abuse in marriage and the patriarchal divorce system. Security had to escort them out. Rebecca, her lawyer, quit on the spot. Rebecca, I'm a feminist attorney, not a circus performer. Find someone else. Victoria had to hire a new lawyer, some guy who took her case for a $5,000 retainer, half her settlement. He basically told her to take the deal or risk losing everything. But the real entertainment came from the house. The situation with the house was where things really escalated. Victoria's 30 days were up, and she refused to leave. She showed up with a moving truck and the Phoenix sisters, claiming she was taking her half of everything. I was ready. I had a sheriff's deputy there. James arranged it and a complete inventory of every item, with receipts. Victoria pointed at the living room furniture. That's mine. Me. Shows receipt on my phone, purchased by Alex Thompson, paid with my credit card. The kitchen appliances, more receipts. The bedroom set, we bought this before we met. Here's the 2012 receipt. She even tried to take the doormat, me $12.99. Target. My debit card. The Phoenix sisters were getting increasingly angry. Brenda, this is systematic oppression. Deputy, Mayam. It's systematic documentation. He owns everything. Phoenix sister number 3. We should call the news. Dorothy, from the porch. Please do. I'd love to tell them how my daughter abandoned me while spending thousands on wine and yoga. They ended up leaving with nothing new, just the clothes and personal items Victoria already had. But here's where it gets even better. Remember Paul calling about Victoria's job issues? Yeah. She got fired. Apparently, after our disastrous mediation, she went to work and gave an unsolicited presentation during a staff meeting about identifying financial abuse in marriage, even pointing out several happily married colleagues as victims in denial. HR gave her a warning. She responded by sending a company-wide email about toxic masculine corporate culture. They fired her that same afternoon. So now Victoria had no job, no house, about $5,000 left from the settlement after paying her lawyer, and rapidly shrinking savings. She tried moving in with Brenda. That lasted exactly 1 week. Brenda kicked her out because Victoria couldn't pay rent and refused to do housework. That's domestic servitude. Then she tried Phoenix sister number 2. 3 days, She got kicked out for lecturing her teenage daughter about internalized misogyny when the girl said she wanted to get married someday. Phoenix sister number 3. One day, she left after a fight over Victoria, eating her food without asking. Resources should be communal among sisters. Finally, broke and humiliated, she did what she swore she never would, asked Dorothy to speak to me about letting her move back in. Dorothy came to me last Sunday. Dorothy, she's desperate, Alex. And nothing. I told her she made her bed, but I wanted you to know, she asked. Me, what's she doing now? Dorothy, living with a cousin 2 hours away. Working at a call center, posting inspirational quotes about rising from ashes on Facebook. The phoenix rises again. More like a damp pigeon at this point. We both laughed. The best part? The Phoenix sisters completely abandoned her. Once she couldn't afford wine bars and yoga classes, she was useless to them. Brenda even posted, "Sometimes you have to cut toxic people out of your life, even sisters who can't match your energy." Victoria commented, "I thought we were family." Brenda blocked her. Meanwhile, Dorothy is thriving. We converted the garage into a nice studio space for her quilting hobby. She joined a senior social group, made friends, and even started dating a man named Harold from her book club. It's adorable. Last week, Victoria sent me one final email. "Alex, I know you hate me. I deserve it. I destroyed our marriage for nothing. The Phoenix sisters were toxic. I was toxic. I see that now. I'm in therapy. Court mandated, from an incident where I may have thrown a drink at Brenda, but whatever. The rapist says I have a lot of work to do. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect anything. I just wanted you to know you were right. You were man enough, more than man enough. You were a good husband, and I was an idiot. Take care of my mom. You're doing what I should have done." Victoria P.S. That Ring doorbell footage was from when I was drunk. But drunk words are sober thoughts, right? I was planning to use you. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. There was no point. James called me yesterday with something interesting. James. I ran into Rebecca at court. Me, Victoria's ex-lawyer. James. Yeah. She said this was the worst case she's ever taken. She's using it as a cautionary tale for other clients, what not to do in a divorce. Me. That's amazing. James. She also said, off the record, that moving Dorothy in was the most brilliant tactical divorce move she's seen in 20 years. Me. It wasn't tactical. I just wanted to help Dorothy. James. That's what makes it brilliant. You did the right thing for the right reasons, and it completely destroyed Victoria's narrative. So that's it. I'm officially divorced. Victoria is living her independent woman dream in a cousin's spare room, working a job she hates, abandoned by her toxic friend group. Dorothy is living her best life in my guest room, going to bingo with Harold and teaching me how to quilt. I'm terrible at it, but it's relaxing. The house is peaceful. I'm dating again. Nothing serious yet, but I met a nice woman named Amanda at Home Depot. Of all places. She laughed when I told her my ex said I wasn't man enough for her. Amanda, sounds like she wasn't woman enough for you. Maybe something will come of it. Maybe not. But for now, I'm good. Really good. To everyone who said I went too far by moving Dorothy in, no. It was the perfect response to Victoria's independence. She wanted to be free from this end. Oppression of marriage. Fine. Now she's free. And her mother, whom she ignored for years while preaching empowerment, is being cared for by the very man she said wasn't enough. Dorothy said it best yesterday. You know what the irony is? Victoria spent so much time trying to be independent that she forgot how to be a decent human being. And now she's dependent on everyone else's charity, while you and I are living interdependently, helping each other like family should. I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, and one last thing. Dorothy told me last night that Victoria has been trying to join a new group called the Rising Phoenixes for women who feel betrayed by the Phoenix sisters. I can't make this stuff up. Take care, Reddit. Thanks for following this bizarre journey. Edit, since everyone's asking, yes, Dorothy officially pays me $1 per month. It makes it a legal tenancy. She insists on handing me a dollar bill in an envelope on the first of each month, very formally. It's become our little ritual. Last month, she gave me 100 pennies instead, just to be difficult. I love this woman. Edit 2. For those saying this is fake, because no woman would act like Victoria. My brother's ex was worse. Some people really do drink the Kool-Aid that hard. The Phoenix sisters are essentially a toxic echo chamber that convinces members their marriages are oppressive. It's almost cult-like. Victoria was vulnerable to it because she was always insecure about money and success. They exploited that. Not excusing her behavior, just explaining how someone can go that far off the rails.